I get high like tie-dye. By the ocean, sipping my tie. You don't want the beat, better take your ass to Five Guys.
Yeah, we back at it. Free Play Radio. That was Tie Dye from Grando and Baghead.
Yes, sir.
But I got to introduce you, though. We got a super producer from the Bay coming up, Baghead. How you feeling, though?
I feel great, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm feeling good to be here.
Thank you for coming, girl.
Yeah, man. It's thank yous back and forth.
Yeah. So for the people that may be unfamiliar, where you from and what brought you to music as the creative outlet?
Right. That's an interesting backstory. I was born in New York. My parents met in Frisco.
Okay.
My dad's from New York. Came back when I was 3.
Okay.
And then I lived on Mission and Crescent. And then I moved up to Top of the Hill, Daly City. And then in high school, my mom moved to like Noe Valley apartment over there. Stayed in Daly City though, back and forth. So like all over the San Francisco area, I grew up in a lot of different like programs in the Mission. But like, I think that's part of why I feel so attached to Frisco, because they really brought me in as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of folks who are generations deep, and I was always brought into these families and these communities. So seeing the strength that I've always been like, I need to represent for Frisco in a strong and beautiful way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then music, my parents were like hella creative. My mom and dad did photography.
Okay.
And
so
like,
you was just around the arts.
I was around art my whole, like when I was 6, talking about being brought into communities, I was part of I got brought into Loco Bloco, which is like a Afro-Brazilian bateria and dance crew for like young people. But they also do like theater and whatnot. But I was playing drums at like 6 years old, dancing around. So like at a young age, I was around music, and then I started playing trumpet. Then I went to middle school and played drums because I got the background, and I went to Soda for arts. But then in high school, I got hella into hip hop. Like I've always been around hip hop. My dad would always play me stuff, but in high school, me and my homies like,
this the shit.
We need to learn about hip hop. We need to make hip hop. I'm gonna make beats. You're gonna rap. We're gonna be in a group. So like 15, 16 is when I got really, really into like creating hip hop.
Okay, so around that time, who were you listening to?
We came up really getting enamored with like 90s New York shit.
Okay. Like the Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang and Tribe Called Quest and Boot Camp Click and like DOS
The root of it though.
Yeah.
You started at the root. Like not a lot of people, when they do get into hip hop, no matter the walk of life you come from, they don't start at the beginning.
Right.
They don't start at like the root of where everyone got their shit from. So it's dope to hear that. That's where you started.
That's where I started. And it's funny to see where I'm at now. Like I still love that, but like when I'm like going to work, I just got my Spotify likes. So I'm like, it's just like Zaban comes up and Lil Bean comes up, and then I'll hear like Tribe Called Quest. I'm like, like, I need to get amped up. But then I go back and forth, and I kind of like, as a producer, I push myself to listen to everything. Like yesterday, I was like listening to Prince. Just be like, all right, this is an amazing album. I need to learn about it. Enjoy it, but also like, let me just like kind of soak this game in. You know?
Right. Okay. So how would you describe your sound? Because I mean, as a producer, you probably have like an eclectic taste.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your sound?
I feel like, honestly, I have a hard time describing it. I mean, the first thing I always say is like, I'm someone that's like not trying to hide that I'm like heavily inspired by like greats, right? Like I'm inspired by like Pete Rock, DJ Premier, J Dilla, Madlib, like on like the boom bap sample based side of things. And then like modern day, I'm like heavily influenced by like Kenny Beats and Knowledge and Monty Booker.
Okay, that's Knowledge with the X.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's like on his lo-fi sample stuff, and Monty Booker's like doing with stuff. It's like Scino. Like kind of like that soul bounce kind of stuff. So I'm like influenced by an array of music, but producers as well. And then like we just played Tie Dye, and like that's for me like an obvious step towards like a Bay Area sound, like DJ Fresh or you know, like things that'll sound, I don't want to say hyphy because we're kind of not past it, but a little more modern day with it. But like that kind of
it's like rooted in hyphy, or mob music.
Exactly, like Jacka kind of stuff. And it's funny because Jacka got a lot of like sample-based music. And like when I listen to Jacka, I'm like, oh, I can really hear how like I'm influenced by those sounds, you know?
Right.
And you listen to Mac Dre, and it's kind of back. It's just like there's such a dynamic style and rhythm in all of Bay Area music. Yeah. So I'm influenced by all that as well.
Man, okay. Yeah. But why producing? 'Cause I feel like I meet a lot of people, and
that's a good question.
They jump straight into like the vocals of it,
right?
You know, but why? Like,
I think
the soundscape.
that background in drumming. So I was always from 6 years old to like 15. Like I went to Soda for percussion.
Okay.
So I've been drumming my entire life, and so when we found hip hop, Or when like in high school, when like my homie was like, "Yo, I've got all the hip hop torrented. Give me your iPod Classic." Like the next step was like, we want to do this. And like the homies, there were rappers and I was the drummer. So I was like, I'm going to make beats. And like one of my best friends at the time got a Machine Micro, which is like a native instrument, it's like a beat pad kind of thing. And I would just be at his house all the time. And that's why I started picking it up. So just naturally, like I just kind of fell in that role and I never left it alone.
Okay, know? For sure. You got a record. Well, y'all got a record I want to get into. 4 Tires Flat, Ozer, featuring the Jealous Guys, Professor Gable.
Yep.
How did that record come about?
Me. I was like, I need to be on my producer tip, and just like I've been rocking with Gable since we were in like high school, middle school times. Like I met Ozer through music stuff. Jealous Guys I had met recently. Like just being around music, I was like, I want to be a producer that has my name attached to dope ass MCs that I'm around. So I'm just gonna hit them up.
Right.
And like we all had a relationship. So that session was hella funny. We did it at Adiemi's house because I wasn't recording at the time in my house, or like at a studio I was working at. So we went there, just made this track. You know?
No, it's just how you say you're not just a beat maker. You are a producer. Like you're like a visionary. Not even like, let me not discredit. You're a visionary. And how important is it to like hone in on your vision and not necessarily feel like you got to do something to fit in?
Right. I mean, for me, I definitely, like, we talked about how Bay Area has, like, this hyphy mob turned up sound, and I love it dearly. And, like, I'll definitely make beats that sound like it here and there. But overall, like, a lot of my music is, compared to that, might sound really experimental. But, like, I'm not going to, like, pretend like I don't love it. Yeah. And I'm not going to pretend like I get down on myself. Just I'm like, you know, we all got insecurities and ways of feeling self-conscious. But, like, the more I lean into it, the more love I get. And the more I'm able to see the way I can kind of maneuver through all of it. You know? Because as a producer, I got to be able to be, I want to be able to be dynamic. Right. And that's what tie-dye is. You know what I mean? Okay. But then staying true to myself, it's like I'm not just a beat maker. But there are moments where I just want to be myself fully. So those would be my beats. But when it comes to, like, I want to make a song that sounds like Larry June, Currency, and Nipsey Hussle be on it. Yeah. Which is funny because when we recorded the track, Ozer was like recording, he's like, I'm on my Larry June, Currency, Nipsey. And we all clowned him, but like those are the artists that we look up to. So I was like, I also want to be a producer in that fashion. So let me get these MCs who are like prophetic, you know, and like really dope with their wordplay and their overall just like MC skills. So I was like, let me get that. So just having the vision to be whatever you want to be. And then also staying true to yourself and finding that balance. You know?
Okay. So for the people listening, where can they find you on all social media and where can they stream your music?
So if you look up Baghead, like my name is Satchel, not spelled like Satchel, but sound like Satchel. My producer name is Baghead, like a bag on your head. That's exactly what you look up on Spotify. And then on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, it's baghead.fng. And FNG stands for Family Not a Group. That's the collective I'm a part of.
It's a group. It's not a fam. It's
not a group, and it is a family. Yeah. And it's a collective.
For sure. Well, let's get into it. 4 Tires Flat, Ozer, Baghead, Jealous Guys, Professor Gable. Shout out to y'all.
Okay, when you're ready. I guess we'll do it the usual way. I'll make a short statement.
TJG. Fuck it, let me put you on. The reason why the price is different, cause this shit is strong. I can see just how she switches, that she skipped a thong. Rented tenant homes downtown, they miss a home, cause they miss a home. North Face with the Louis, Othea lower money. It's a black and brown city, they tryna take it from me. City nice, big buildings, look out seas. I use my outreach to make it out, please. Clean the chicken with mouthpiece. Drop the coupe, bust it open just like it's bedtime. Make a toast for niggas dying across the red lines. And traffic sitting on my limping like I'm pimping. On the come up like we bipping, sucking, ducking, steak and shrimping. Hello. Keep it groovy like a movie, Mac. Both tires flat, but don't do me jack. Gamble under street lights like a dice game. Make sure she 10 toes down with a nice frame. We was going dumb, raised with plentyism. Henny shots and dro gave us plenty wisdom. Now it's catching flights, came from penny pinches. Smoking loud, shut the fuck up and listen.
Yeah, kept the glass half full at my hotel. Just got the ass cap, note in my folks' mail. Time heals wounds, each blooms and goes frail. Beside sheep pools full of water they don't sell. Never on a coattail, I'm in a silk robe. After long days and my sweats and steel toes, I near froze up when they opened my wound. Throwing salt on a scab that I hope to remove. His demeanor dimmed down when they told him the news. I know everybody goes, but I hope we renew. I ain't living living in the moment, but I know what's occurring. They seen a lot of smoke burning when they open the curtain.
Stand up on my 10 toes beside all my kinfolk. My honey dream is to make this shit tenfold. Make the paper bend so many ways you think the bones broke. Keep it all in silence, everything they don't need to know. Stuck in my old ways and trying to make no new friends. Stack a bar, summon in, pull up in the new bins. Make them all mad, swerve the whip and do a move swing. Just a slight flex, going up, we never seen things. Sat in the whip, watch my pop serve a crack fiend. Trying to get the lake view, sound like the dream team. Trying to touch this paper boy, trying to see some new green. But, and I'm just trying to see some new green.
Keep it groovy like a movie, Mac. Four tires flat, but don't do me, Jack. Gamble under street lights like a dice game. Make sure she 10 toes down with a nice frame. We was going dumb, raised with plentyism. Henny shots and dro gave us plenty wisdom. Now it's catching flights, came from penny pinching. Smoking loud, shut the fuck up and listen.
Hey, look, grew up in that kitchen like we bake pies. I drop some thousands in your check and if it ain't chime. Look, bitches love my life, these niggas hate mine. But they gon' try to kill me for it, that's a hate crime. Hey, ain't came overnight, you know it take time. But some seconds change my life just like we make vines. Look, just keep it real with me, I can't take lies. Oh, you don't like me cause I'm shining, that's a hate crime. Hey, bitches love my life, these niggas hate mine. And they gon' try to kill me for it, that's a hate crime. Look, ain't came overnight, you know it take time. Oh, you don't like me cause I'm shining, that's a hate crime. Hey, this the get back, hold on. Who just what? Nah, bitch, I been there. Like she all in my bubble, I'm like, baby, been there. JK, I want the thousands, I'm like, bitch, send that. This patty on me now, nigga, not no knick-knack. Ain't left the home base, I sold a whole 6-pack. Ain't scared of going broke, cause I know how to fix that. She keeps saying that she love me, spills on me, witchcraft. The lovers really hate, but I already sensed that. They fill my load up and I ain't slipped since that. You send a slug now and get 10 cent back. Off-white, Supreme, Louis, hype beast, mismatch, ayy. Remember being that little nigga in the back. My intro to the streets, I watched my daddy sell crack. The crazy thing is half my family did that. Like my granny smoked grams, but I want Grammys off rap, nigga. Like, grew up in that kitchen like we bake pies. I drop some thousands in your check and if it ain't chime. Look, bitches love my life, these niggas hate mine. But they gon' try to kill me for it, that's a hate crime. Hey, ain't came overnight, you know it take time. But some seconds change my life just like we make vines. Look, just keep it real with me, I can't take lies. Oh, you don't like me cause I'm shining, that's a hate crime.
Yeah, we back at it. That was G-Pop, Hate Crime. But we at Public Works this Friday for the Sucker Repellent release party from Dregs 1. We got City P, Grando, Journey Be The Reason, Frisco Baby, Trailer Left. We got my guy Baghead on the ones and twos. Bro, I seen you at El Rio.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times, yeah.
DJing though.
Was it recently?
I want to say it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe like 6 months ago.
Well, yeah, all the shows we throw there with FNG.
Yeah.
Family on a Group. I'm DJing.
But no, like you go crazy, bro. Like
Thank you.
I'm a DJ, bro, but it's like I don't even call myself like a DJ for real because it's cats like you that are just amazing, bro. I gotta give you your props, bro.
Thank you. And it's funny because I'm like I feel like I'm in the same boat as you, and I think the reason I like what I do is because like I spend so much time producing, making beats, right? And it's definitely like a practice for me. So every time I sit down and make beats, like there's definitely moments I'm like, oh hell yeah, like, I'm enjoying. But a lot of the time I'm like, I gotta figure out how to get this sound to match with this sound and what kind. It's like it's kind of a stressful experience, you know, or tedious, and I love it, but it's like it's work. And when I DJ, I get to take a step back and be like, I like this song, and I like this song, and I'm gonna make that song go well with this song.
Man,
you know?
bro, that's one thing I gotta say. Like your transitions, bro, your mixes, the song selection is just like A1, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta tell you because you're sitting right here, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun DJing. Like I've always DJ'd. But in this last year, I'm like getting a lot of gigs as a DJ, and I'm really enjoying it.
For sure. But you just dropped the project, Growth Mindset.
Yes.
I see you got the hoodie on, got the merch. Make sure y'all cop some merch,
please.
But what does Growth Mindset mean to you?
Yeah.
And you can answer that, and then I'll ask you my second question.
Okay. I always use a comparison. So I actually learned about growth mindset while I was going to SF State. It was a class about educational equity, and the professor said, schools are not failing our children. Schools are doing exactly what they were built to do. So black and brown working class kids of color are being pushed this way. Affluent kids with more support are being pushed this way. That's how it started, and that's how it is now. And growth mindset is something where it's like a fixed mindset is you're faced with challenge. You feel challenged, and you're like, all right, that's where my value, that's where my skill set is. It won't go any further. And a lot of kids in these classrooms, because there's not enough support and there's not enough funding, they're gonna see that problem, be unable to do it, and the teacher's not gonna even see that they're struggling with it, and they'll be left behind. You know. So a growth mindset is all about recognizing that like where you are doesn't define who you are. And to recognize like the beauty within you and how far that can push you. And anything you wanted, I mean, corny as it is, but real as it is, like anything you want to do, you can achieve, but it's going to be frustrating and it's going to be a struggle, but that's going to be normal. Yeah. You know, like trying to do, like with my beats, like I said, like I want to be an amazing producer is going to be hard, you know? I'm going to spend a lot of time being hella frustrated with what the sounds I'm trying to create and the technicalities I'm trying to build. Yeah. But having a growth mindset is all about like being okay, feeling uncomfortable, feeling challenged, you know. And I think a lot of youth are not presented that, and they kind of like turn away from everything that is challenged, and there's no one there to really pull them up, especially when they're in these schools, and there's not enough support there.
Right.
You know?
So basically, like, just not trying to just summarize all because you said a lot, but it's okay to learn, and it's okay to start off doing something and not being like amazing at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like
when I first started making beats, I was whack. You know, and like I think if 10 years from now I look back at where I'm at, I'm like, I had so much more to grow when I got there.
You wasn't whack.
It'll be continuous. You know, like I'm gonna continue to get better. And you can also apply, like my whole goal was to apply it to like anything. Like it could be your skill set, but also how do you hold yourself as a person? Yeah. How do you interact with others? You know, how are you assessing what you've been through and making it help where you're gonna go, or how does it harm you, and how are you like processing all that?
Right.
You know?
So what is it like putting together an album with just your production on it?
It's kind of fun. I mean, I make so many beats, so that when it's time to put the album together, the fun part is just like I get to pick my favorite beats. So like the 70 or 80 or 100 I made in the last, whatever it is, you know. Yeah. The tedious part is trying to make sense of it, because I am an instrumental artist, so I can keep like part of the album too is just like if you like dope beats or you want to hear new music, that can be all it is for you, and I'm happy with that if you listen. If you want to go deeper and kind of follow me on social media and tap in with the platforms I'm on, you might learn more about my intention behind music in general and who I am. So that becomes the hard part for me, is like, what do I want to say with this music? You know, how am I going to get my point across? Because a lot of, like, small as it is, like I put a lot of little interviews and YouTube clips of people talking in my album. So it's like little gems and Easter eggs. So if you really pay attention, you might pick up a lot, and it's like up to you to interpret, but you have that book to open to interpret what you will, you know, if you want to open that book, you know.
Right. You got I'm gonna call it a record. You got a record. We've all seen it. And what was you going through when you made that one, bro? Because that one is so fucking fire, bro.
Right on.
That one's so fire, and you could just put anybody's, like, maybe not anybody, but you could put any dope acapella on there.
That's what I was doing too, yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about like just that process when you made that one?
I mean, part of it is what we were talking about earlier. Like I'm influenced by like the sample heavy 90s hip hop, as well as Dilla and Madlib. But I'm also influenced by Bay Area, old and new. And if you listen, like the sample kind of has like a wavy lo-fi, just kind of like that sample-esque production style. But the kick kind of has that mobby, like Bay Area to it. And that was like my main thought. I was like, I have the sample, but the kick pattern is not going to emulate like a boom bap kind of sound. It's going to be this. And then the title, I just be like, really, when I start making beats, before I even finish them, I just kind of name it something that is popping up in my mind in the moment. So it wasn't even called We've All Seen It at first. It was called like Did You Get a Cut? And Did You Get a Cut has to do with like, did I get a cut of like the work I'm putting in, or did I? Right. And then so when I see the beat name and I'm gonna turn to an album form, like I have this idea, what can I stretch it to? And We've All Seen It. It's like we've all been in that moment, being like, did I get my cut? Did I get my due? You know.
Man. Okay, for sure. Well, we're gonna get into this record. We've all seen it. This is a beat tape, but this is free play radio, man. We shedding light on all artists and all creatives, bro. So let's get into it. Baghead, we've all seen it off his latest project, Growth Mindset.
streets need this. I had to make that call. I said I had to make that call. This shit about to go crazy. If you from a hood, bang your shit. Let me see where you from.
My hood go crazy. 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 My hood go crazy.
Real West Side legend, next a block about me. Yeah, them bitches in the city going park about me. Fuck around and get the trip and get dropped about me. Ask them who the brick man, they gon' talk about me. Yeah. Left the Pyrex sticky. Serve the red and the blue team, politics was strict. A millionaire wearing Dickies. Bought the Lexus off the lot, then I drove it straight to Nick's. Fraud on the east side, yeah, that's why I kept the work. Used to weigh them 250s every time she went to work. Pyrex bowl, little water, low tide. Gangland nigga, and I took it worldwide. My hood go.
My hood go crazy. 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 My hood go crazy.
Yeah. Free Play Radio. We back at it. That was Hood Go Crazy from the boy Dame, Jeezy and Yo Gotti. And my guy Project Papa. Make sure y'all stream that. We got Baghead in the building. You hear that in the background. That's Break Some off his latest project, man. Make sure y'all go and stream that. But I got a question. Who is your dream collab? I know that's a crazy question. I know you got many. But past and present.
I gotta pick one.
I mean, if you want to.
Past and present?
Yeah.
That's so
like two rappers or a singer and a rapper that you would want on your song.
Georgia Smith.
Okay.
Just because I'm in love with her.
Man, you and me both, bro. We're going to duel.
And I mean, probably like Freddie Gibbs or West Side Gun.
I can hear
this song
Freddie
especially,
Gibbs.
Like this kind of bounce,
yeah,
kind of eerie kind of sound, like Freddie Gibbs would. And it's also like I've always loved Freddie Gibbs, but I remember like walking with my homie. We were doing like Christmas shopping on Hate, and this is my brother. He loves me. I love him.
Yeah.
And we were talking about music, and I was like, I forgot how it came up, and I was like, yeah, like I want to produce for Freddie Gibbs one time, and he acted hella. He's like, oh, really? Kind of like, there's no way you could do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he meant that, and I'm not tripping off that. I get it, because it's that thing like have dreams so big that your friends and your folk can't even believe
shocked,
it. Yeah. But that always stuck with me. I'm like, that's where I want to be at, and that's where I'm gonna strive to be at. Is making records with the artists I've always looked up to, and then also the folks I'm around now make those the artists that people from new generations will look up to. You know?
But just how I know you a visionary, your dream collab is Georgia Smith and Freddie Gibbs. Like I'm not even thinking of that far, but I can imagine that sounding fire.
Right on.
Yeah. What you got coming next, bro?
Well, we got the Dregs album release party. That's on Friday. We got my homegirl, Bay Pedestrian. She's a merch apparel creator. She's having a birthday party at Curio. I'm also DJing there. I got a whole string of content coming out for I want to push this project.
Nah, man, keep pushing it.
I'm just gonna run it down. So I got a bunch of content. I got some like more platforms I'm gonna be on, like doing DJ sets and whatnot. So follow me on Instagram. Stay tuned, and I'll be doing a bunch of different things.
For sure. You got any shout outs? Anything you want to say to the people before you go?
Shout out the entire Bay Area. Shout out my collective, Family Not a Group. I would say all 18 names, but I might miss a couple, so I don't want to do all that. But shout out to y'all too. I appreciate what y'all do for the Bay Area and for music in general and creativity in general. So anyone who's listening who is a creative, I appreciate you dearly. Keep going.
For sure. And I just want to thank you for pulling up, having this conversation. It's going to be many more conversations that we're going to have, bro. I want to build with you.
Same.
I work with a bunch of artists myself, you feel me? And we'll love some production, bro.
I'd love to.
Man, for sure. Well, shout out to y'all for listening. It's your boy Scino. Shout out Burns. Shout out All In Radio. Shout out my guy Trail LF. He got his project coming real soon. But be on the lookout for Lights Off 1020. We at Wing Wednesdays at Trademark this week. Make sure y'all pop out. $20 bottomless wings till 8 o'clock, 5 to 8. And we're going to get into another record before we get out of here. What If Tomorrow Never Come, Pussy, LaRussell, and my guy Mike the Gift off That Still Ain't Easy. It's your boy Scino, Free Play Radio.
Church. Yeah. What if tomorrow never come cause we stuck in the past? What if you cut your best friend while you cutting the grass? What if the liquor ran skimpy? What if the glass was half full, now your glass half empty? What if I never see a brighter day? What if I only knew drug deals and not a right away? What if I split a zone with you, was thirsty for blood, stole your cut and tried to put my chrome to you? Never get on the phone for you, call you my fam, reach for dap like I ain't doing wrong to you. What if I never had the need to write? What if my father showed me keys to manhood instead of keys of white?
Sit down. Sit down.
Drink that shit, man. Sit down.